851, turn right heading 180. Order 14 Papa, turn right 245, report localizer established 27.
Hello everyone, welcome to DJ's Aviation. What was the MD-12? What happened to it? What would it rival? In today's video, I'll be exploring just that and everything MD-12 related. It's an aircraft I've been wanting to cover for some time now, and I'm pretty excited to be doing so. The MD-12 is something that we never got to see flying. In fact, it was purely a study that was undertaken by McDonnell Douglas. This occurred back in the 1990s, and the aircraft itself would have been the very first full double-decker airliner. You're probably thinking that this is the A380, and yes, that is certainly the case. However, this MD-12 would have been launched some 10 to 15 years earlier than when we first saw the A380. Ironically, this is the time period that a lot of people believed the A380 should have been launched due to the changing industry trends, and by the time that the A380 was actually released, it had passed its time. But before I digress, the most notable thing about the MD-12 was its unique shape, and of course it being a double-decker. Artists' impressions of the MD-12 pictured it to be like the A380, however it would be far more bulky. Originally though, this wasn't the case. The MD-12 was designed to be a tri-jet, just like the MD-11. Because of the success of the MD-80 and the MD-11, McDonnell Douglas truly believed that offering something like the MD-12 would attract more customers, and in 1992, the design was officially unveiled. The MD-12 was meant to be flying by 1995, so that's just 3 years between the release and the launch. Often this is the complete opposite with aircraft nowadays, with the public having to wait sometimes 6 years before we get a glimpse of the first completed aircraft. The example I can give is the 777X. For McDonnell Douglas, the reveal was a fail. No airlines ordered it. From there, the wheels just continued to fall off, and other designing firms which were involved in the MD-12 development and designing backed out. By 1993, a year after the MD-12 was unveiled for the first time, production was ceased completely, and it became clear that we would never properly see the MD-12 in our skies. However, were there any different variations of the MD-12? Yes, there were, and quite a handful to say the least. I won't lie, I am a huge fan of multiple variants of the same aircraft, as I do think it's very intriguing to see where manufacturers will go in terms of development. The following variants were proposed. The MD-12 HC, this would be a high-capacity version of the MD-12, which of course would have an increased capacity. The next one was the MD-12 LR, which would feature a longer range. Following this, McDonnell Douglas proposed an MD-12 stretch. I'd assume this was a stretch in the length, which in turn would make it have a higher capacity. Finally, there was the MD-12 Twin, which would have only 2 engines instead of the standard 4. All of these variants that I just listed do sound very interesting in my opinion, and may sound practical, but for an aircraft that big, it actually may not have been. The MD-12 would house the following specifications. These specifications were provided by McDonnell Douglas themselves through promotional materials at the time of the release. The aircraft would have a range of 14,825 kilometers and could fly at a maximum speed of 1,050 kilometers an hour or 565 knots. The jet was planned to have a capacity of 430 passengers in the long range setting, and in the high capacity variant, it would seat 511 in 3 classes. The length would be 207 feet, or 63 meters, and the wingspan would be 213 feet, or 54.92 meters. Funnily enough, in the 2000s, Airbus would launch their A380, which is almost identical to what the MD-12 would have been, and to date, that has received 300 plus orders overall. Ultimately, I would have liked to have seen the MD-12. Any 4-engine aircraft is cool to see in my opinion, and the artist impressions of the MD-12 do make it look, well, I'd say odd, but also quite intriguing to say the least. Let me know in the comment section below whether or not you would have liked to have seen the MD-12. I'd like to thank you very much for watching this video of mine, and if you're new to the channel, feel free to hit the subscribe button, and if you enjoyed this video, the like button is also there. I look forward to seeing all of you in the next one.